Hello everyone and welcome back to Icebane Gaming. Today I have some packs I'd like to open in MTG Arena. I got 45 packs to open. I figure we may as well start with the earliest one that I have, a Core Set 2020 pack. And yeah, let's see what we got. Let's hope that we get a mythic out of this, eh? Oh boy. Oh, they also changed the loadout. I'm used to it being 5 on the bottom, 2 on the sides, flanking the rare. And it looks like we got a rare. Rare wild card. I'll take that. That's anything I want it to be. That's pretty good. We also got a Sanitarium Skeleton. I'm pretty sure I had a whole playset of those, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, good for those grave recursion decks and sacrifice decks, that kind of stuff. Alright, and we have a Zendikar Rising pack. Alright, looks like we got a common wild card. I evidently didn't have Feed the Swarm or Cleric of Life's Blood. I guess I didn't gather that much from this set. This must have been during my period where I wasn't active on Arena. But we got a Wayward Guide Beast. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return a land you control to its owner's hand. I'm sure that's good for some combos. I can't think of any that are particularly good in Arena, but you know, I guess Trample and Haste on turn 1. That's pretty neat, I guess. But also it puts you behind on the mana curve. Alright. Let's go to a Dominaria United pack. I'm pretty sure I didn't collect much from this one either. Alright, looks like I got a Meteorite for the first time. Very simple. 2 damage mana rock. And, 5 mana cost. That's terrible. Mossbeard Ancient. Yavimaya Iconoclast. I can't say that normally. What's the rare? Alright, no whammies. Let's go. Leyline Binding. Alright, not my first one. It's exiles target permanent. Just one of those many things. Not interesting, but let's see what else we got. Looks like another rare, if this is anything to go off of, this little halo. I liked it better when they didn't have the halo. Got an uncommon wild card in the Sprouting Goblin. Let's see. Defiler of Instinct, alright. As an additional cost, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 less red to cast for the amount of life paid. Only the amount of red mana. Alright, just makes your red spells cost a little less. If you're playing a deck that made your permanents cost a little bit less with the colorless, then this can make them free. That actually could be pretty good. Alright, let's see what else we get. What's next? Mythic? Oh boy, it looks like we got a mythic. Let's see, what's our mythic? Jaya, nice. I don't think I've played Jaya before. She creates 1/1 monks with prowess. You exile the top cards of your library. You could play them that turn. Or, well, one of them that turn. -2, target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya, Fiery Negotiator, deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. Also, you get an emblem with, whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Though that's very good for a red face damage deck. So if you're doing like a lot of lightnings and stuff like that. Alright. Electrostatic Infantry. Alright. Whatever. King Darien, the... I can't read that. So it's 10... And then L was... Oh, what's L in Roman numerals? I'm going to guess 108th. Whatever. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. That's pretty standard for a white and green. Good for a token deck, I suppose. Brothers War. Around the time I started playing Magic again was when Brothers War was in full swing. This one also has all of these cards, the artifact cards. We got Deathbloom Ritualist. Add X color, or X mana of any one color, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. This is good for a grave deck. Maybe one day I'll build a grave deck. Alright, dismiss. Another Brothers War. And Flow of Knowledge. Draw a card for each island you control, then discard 2 cards. And a Painful Quandary. I've used this before. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, or that player loses 5 life, unless they discard a card. It's a good way to lock someone out of being able to cast spells. Oh boy. Why are 2 of these covered? Did they start doing this for like packs with 2 rares? What's this one? Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Alright. Good if you have nothing in your hand. But I guess if you're playing a Mishra deck, that would be something. Alright, a Psychosis Crawler. Power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. That's pretty cool. It's also a little brain in a jar. Pretty cool. Oh, Mythic pack. And has a rare. And I got a Mythic token. That's pretty good. Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. Nice. Sacrifice him and legendary creatures you control get +1/+0 and indestructible until the end of turn. Good for a legend deck. And another Aetherflux Reservoir. That's actually pretty sweet. I think I only had 1 of those. Alright. Aetherflux is always a pretty strong card. Phyrexia All Will Be One. The first draft I participated in after returning to Arena. Alright. Vindictive Flamestoker. Alright, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a oil counter on it. Alright. Not super amazing, but still is pretty good. Of course they're all good. They're rares. Another Phyrexian Arena. Can never go wrong with a full playset of them. I think I only had 2 before, so this would be my 3rd. Alright. Never needed more than that. So, let's see. Got another common wild card. And a rare wild card. Alright. Next pack. I'm alright with wild cards. They help me build decks. Alright. And looks like everything I've already seen before, except this. Soulless Jailer. Permanent cards and graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. Alright. Because of the exile, it also stops adventure decks and other decks that do similar abilities to adventure. I suppose if you're playing best of 3, this is a good sideboard card, I suppose. Let's see what we got next. March of the Machine. Alright, and we got Kroxa and Knoros. Elder Giant Dog. Alright, it's the Hunger, right? And then the equivalent of Cerberus, which I'm guessing is Knoros. When Kroxa and Knoros enters the battlefield or attacks, you may exile 5 cards from your graveyard. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I suppose that's good grave recursion, but it's not in the color format that I would like for that. I suppose if you're playing Commander based around this, and have a way of bringing stuff back from your exile, which I don't think there's that many options, then I suppose it'd be good in Commander. I don't see it seeing much play in like any other format. Alright. I should also mention that we're going to get into Wilds of Eldraine packs towards the end, because we got a lot of those. I'll put a little disclaimer at the beginning saying that. Alright, 2 rares, that's pretty good. We got Yargle and Multani. Alright. Yargle being the big guy in the swamp that is very strong, but has a low toughness. And Multani, I forget what Multani's deal was. He was a tree. But it looks like they kept the Yargle type thing with the big power and little toughness. Alright, whatever. Gigantha the Wellspring, companion card, and it's a companion if you have no card in your starting deck with more than one of the same mana symbol in its mana cost. So it's got to be a multicolored deck where everything is at least 2 or more colors. Alright. Oh, I suppose mana symbols, so they all have to be double symbols. What the hell? Alright, I'm done. Done with that pack. Well done in a while. Alright. Rada, the Coalition Warlord, and Omnath, Locust of All. Oh, they made Omnath a Phyrexian, huh? If you lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana of any combination of colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it in your hand. Not something to cry home about. There are plenty better Omnaths. Next, March of the Machine. Alright. Deeproot Wayfinder. When it enters the battlefield or deals damage to a player or battle, surveil 1. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So you could surveil, and if there is if there's a land on top of your battlefield, you could put it in your graveyard and then pull it from your graveyard and put it into play. So it's kind of like back in the day with the Explore effect. However, Explore has been replaced by Surveil, I suppose, in this. But it doesn't get the +1/+1 counters that Explore would give otherwise. And you don't have to reveal the top card, I suppose. Let's see. Another Giganth. Out of 4 packs, I got 2 of them. Alright. Lord of the Rings packs. Got 7 of those, and then we're on to the current set. Alright, we got Frodo, and we got Antdrot Basin. Alright, that's pretty cool. And we got Elrond, Master of Healing. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on X target creatures, or X's number of cards looked at while scrying. In this way, when a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, you may draw a card. I've definitely seen him get some play. He's very common to see in green and blue scry decks, especially like green and blue scry elves. Pretty good card. We got a mythic pack. Alright, what's this mythic? Oh, nice. Mythic wild card. Nice. I could certainly use those. I've seen this get used, and, well, it stomped me because I was playing a deck with activated abilities. Alright. Also, the deck sucked that I was playing, so take that for what it is. Rangers of Ithilien. Alright. When Rangers of Ithilien enters the battlefield, gain control of up to 1 target creature with less power for as long as you control Rangers of Ithilien. Then the ring tempts you. Nice. Alright. Friendly Rivalry and Lobelia Sackville Baggins. Alright, is that Bilbo's wife or something? Or is that Frodo's cousin? The one that was after Bilbo's fortune. I'm just being a nerd. Alright, dismiss. We need to burn through some more packs. Alright. Why does Samwise have Sting? Samwise didn't have a weapon like that. So let's see, what do we got? Galadriel of Lothlorien. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Galadriel of the Lord of the Lothlorien as your ring bearer, scry 3. Whenever you scry, you may reveal the top card of your library. If a land card is revealed that way, put it into the battlefield tapped. I've seen her played a lot with what's his name? The card I mentioned earlier, the Scry Elf. 2 more. Alright, Moria Marauder. Alright, whenever a goblin or orc deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So this is probably a pretty good goblin deck card. Peregrine Took. Nice. The one that Gandalf goes, "You're a fool of a took," to, you know? That guy. Anyways. One last pack from Lord of the Rings. And here we are. Eowyn, Fearless Knight. Alright, let's do the regular Wilds of Eldraine first. Alright, we finally made it to Wilds of Eldraine, what you guys are probably all here for. We got a total of 26 Wilds of Eldraine packs and 2 gold packs. Our first one, we got a Utopia Sprawl. Alright. Restless Vinestalk. Alright, when there's the battlefield, it enters tapped and it's green and blue, and it could become a plant creature token with trample. And let's open another pack. I haven't opened much Wilds of Eldraine. I've been saving it for this video. Alright, Hatching Plans. That's pretty cool. A Grabby Giant. Nice. I think that's a reprint. Farsight Ritual. Bargain, which makes you sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. And you could look at the top 4 cards of your library. If this spell was bargain, look at the top 8 cards of your library instead. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest in the bottom of the library in any order. That's actually a pretty good card compared to like some of the other cards that allow you to search the top 4. This one makes you pick 2. The other ones only make you pick 1, and they're usually about that cost as well. And you can make it slightly better if you're playing with like tokens. That's pretty good. Alright, another one. Ooh, a mythic pack. Let's see what we got. Alright, we got Raid Bombardment. We got Galvanic Giant. What's this art? This art looks pretty cool. Looks like they're all drunk. Nice. I have this already in the regular form, but I like this art. I like that art a lot. Alright, what's this? Our mythic. Virtue of Courage. It also has Embereth Blaze, and it deals 2 damage to any target. Essentially just a shock. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Nice. So it's good for a red face damage deck. And you may call me Tim.
There are some who call me Tim.
Like, comment, and subscribe. I found out through the analytics that 99% of you are not subscribed. Because I'm going to become one of those YouTubers now, those evil people who just promote themselves all the time in the middle of the video. I'm going to move this directly to the middle of the video. If you're liking what you see, please hit that button. Hit it for me. I do better content sometimes. Sometimes my content is dog shit, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the mess. It's like watching a building burn down or an explosion. That's it's a mess, but you'll love to see it. Anyways, that's pretty cool. Alright, Knightly Valor. When enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 knight creature token with vigilance. That's pretty good. What's this rare? That's what we're all here for. The Iron Crag. Oh, it's the sword in the stone. It's a bunch of swords in a stone. Nice. It's a mana rock, and whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have the Iron Crag become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains equip 3 and equipped creature gets +3/+3 and loses all other abilities. Okay, so it's outside of the quotations, so it's no longer a mana rock after it turns into Everflame. However, they probably should have made this a flip card, even though flip cards aren't really in this set, because, well, then they could just say whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may flip the Iron Crag, and it becomes an equipment attached to that legendary creature. Alright, and then it gains all the other abilities. But that's just my take. There's no other flip cards, so I suppose that's the best that they could do. Season of Growth. Whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets the creature you control, draw a card. Alright, I could see a growth loop. I use Season of Growth with the Scudder Oak and the guy that makes you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature whenever you scry, that elf. That might cause an infinite loop that you could easily break out of. That might be pretty cool. I could try that sometime. Alright, hopefully I remember. Hopefully I just don't become stupid like I always do. What's this rare? Charming Scoundrel. When there's a battlefield, you could create a treasure token, discard a card, or draw a card, or create a wicked roll attached to a creature you control. Nice, it has haste. That could go easily into any treasure deck. Garruk's Uprising, alright. That's an old card. I suppose it is a reprint with art. Good art, though. I like the art of that. Alright, what's this rare? Another Iron Crag. Boring. Let's go on to the next one. Vampiric Rites. Sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Alright, good for a sacrifice deck. What's this? Song of Totentans. Alright, Song of Totentans. Create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of turn. Good for a black and red rat deck, but mono black rats are still better in my opinion. Edgebolt in enters the battlefield tapped and choose a color. Add 1 mana to the chosen color, and you could sacrifice it to return a card that has an adventure from your graveyard to your hand. Nice. So you could just get an adventure card back. That's pretty good. Alright, 16 left of the regular Eldraine packs. Alright, 2 rares. That's pretty good. We got Restless by Valk. That's interesting. Alright. Leyline of the Void. Nice. I got a Leyline. When it's in your opening hand, you may reveal it and put it onto the battlefield. So if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. Nice. I like this art. This art's pretty sweet. Just all of these special art cards, they really pop off this time. I have a few packs in real life that I'm going to be opening at some point, and well, I hope I get stuff with art like that. That's pretty good. Let's go with another one. Dark Tutelage. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. Alright, in a life gain black deck, like a vampire deck, that might be pretty good. And Twinning Twins. Alright. Twining Twins? Or whatever. Nice. Another pack. Johann, Apprentice Sorcerer. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. Once each turn, you may cast an instant sorcery. Once per turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery card. Once per turn, you can cast an instant or sorcery card. Intangible Virtue, I've already got plenty of those without the art. Again, cool art, but this one's not as exciting as some of the other ones, but it still looks pretty good. All right, we got a Restless Cottage. It creates, it's black and green, turns into a 4/4, and whenever it attacks, you create a food token. Hey, that's actually nice. Food token part's actually pretty good. So, yeah. Next pack. Alright, we got a rare. We got Hatching Plans. When it's put into the graveyard from your battlefield, draw 3 cards. Hatching Plans. How do you say that? Like, I think of it as hatching eggs. Like, planning to hatch eggs, but I mean, you could plan something out and then, like, bring it to fruition, and that's hatching a plan. So, probably that version. Anyways, enough of me being stupid again. Alright. Sleep Curse Fairy. When there's a battlefield, it enters tapped with 3 stun counters on it. Alright. And you can pay to untap it. Super interesting. Oh, it's a 3/3 for 1. Okay. But you wouldn't be able to use it for a couple turns. I mean, I guess it's a way to drop something on turn 1. Though I think I prefer to drop an opt or something in a blue deck. Anyways, next pack. What's the rare? Horned Lock Whale. Alright. It's a whale of the lake. It's got Lagoon Breach. An instant that puts an attacking creature on the top or bottom of an opponent's library. Or, well, not even opponent. It's just anybody. Alright. And it enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. Okay. I guess if you wanted to spend your mana on someone else's turn, you could do that. If you're playing a flash deck, but it's not as good because, well, there's plenty of things that do the same thing but don't enter tapped. Ash the Party Crasher. Alright, pretty boring. Let's see. Is this one going to be more exciting? Ground Seal. When there's a battlefield, draw a card. Cards in graveyards can't be targets of spell or abilities. Graveyard Hate. Nice. And Thunderous Debut. Look at the top 28 cards of your library. You may reveal 2 creature cards from among them. If this spell was bargained, you may put the revealed cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the revealed cards in your hand and then shuffle. Nice. So it's a top 20 search. But also it's an 8-drop. The 8-drop is actually an issue. Alright, so not a good card. What's next? Ruby Daring Tracker, alright. And Greta the Sweet Tooth Scourge. They made a lot of legendaries this set, huh? Let's see, what's this? Elvish Archivist. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield, not it, so then it gets 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Only once per turn. And whenever 1 or more enchantments are put onto the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. Alright, so this is obviously to play off of the massive amount of food tokens and treasure tokens and enchantment tokens from the auras. The roll tokens, I should say, because they are enchantments. She grows or she draws you cards once per turn. Nice. She's pretty cheap, and that makes up for the low power and toughness. She'd probably grow as you're playing the game. Alright. Impact Tremors, Area Interference, Collector's Vault. Collector's Vault is the only one that's new for me. Draw a card, then discard a card. Then create a treasure token. Wow. That's a better tome. That's pretty good for, like, a treasure deck. And we got Decadent Dragon. It's a black and red card because black, it's got expensive taste. Exile top 2 cards of opponent's library face down. You may look at and play those cards as long as they remain exiled. And whenever it attacks, create a treasure token. Pretty good for a treasure deck. Because treasure decks usually are going to be red and black. Sometimes blue, because blue has some good ones, but red and black particularly. Two rares, alright. Imodane, the Pyro Hammer. Whenever an instant or sorcery you control targets only a single creature, she deals that much damage to each opponent. So you could use this for like spells that only target creatures if you're playing commander. And you strike creatures, and then it damages each opponent as well. It's good to hit everybody. Alright. And we got an oppression. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player discards a card. Wow, that's even better than that other card I mentioned earlier. But it also targets you, so I suppose there's that issue. What's next? Got another Dark Tutelage, Soul Guide Lantern. Exiles graveyards and draws cards. Alright. Sentinel of Lost Lore. When it enters the battlefield, choose one or more. Return target creature card you own in exile that has an adventure in your hand. And put target card you don't know in exile that's an adventure on the bottom of its owner's library. So you could choose to bring back your adventures or put your opponent's adventures at the bottom of their library, or you could exile target player's graveyard if you're playing without adventure. So that's a decent card. Candy Grapple. Nice. Another pack. Evolving Wilds. Seen so many of these across the years. Grasp of Fate. When it's battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to one target permanent that player controls until Grasp of Fate leads the battlefield. And Sharia of Numbing Depths. So is Sharia a play on the Bog Mother in Beowulf lore? I forget her actual name, but the one that sired Grendel, I believe his name was, and then Beowulf dived to the bottom of the mire to battle her, but then ended up getting laid and then battling her. Got laid by her. That was a pretty fun read, I guess. Interesting book. Anyways, funny stuff. What's her rare? Change that subject. It's an Elvish Archivist. We've seen that already. Let's move on. Let's move away from what I've said. The sins I've committed. Alright. What's our rare? Oh, nice. 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 It's just token. Alright, 4 more. Knightly Valor, Verdant Outrider, and this guy, Lich Knight's Conquest. Sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens. Return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's a pretty good grave recursion. I would put this in a treasure deck. Because it's in the treasure deck's color format, and you could sacrifice some of your treasures to bring back creature cards that would make treasures, and just, well, you could get big creatures out pretty quickly if you're doing that. Yeah. Very good grave recursion. That's a pretty good card for a rare. I would probably have made that a mythic, all things considered, even for that mana cost. I mean, I suppose it could be like 1 or 2 lower, because there are 5-drop sorceries that do the same thing, except it's all creatures. Actually thinking about that brings it down. Yeah, it's a rare. Doesn't need to be mythic. Mythic might be too high for it. There are cards that already beat it out. If it's like 1 or 2 mana lower, then I would say that would be worth being a mythic. All right. Oh, speaking of mythics, let's see what this is. Hamlet Glutton. Ham. What's the mythic? Balluna. She was my main card in the premier draft. Yeah, I made a deck that had a bunch of adventures but was focused on food tokens, so it was pretty good. If I was to make an adventure deck, I'd definitely put a second copy of her in. All right, Greta, the High Fae Negotiator, Barrow Naughty. All right. Fawn's Bane Troll. When there's a battlefield, create a monster roll attached to it. Alright, may as well just say that it's a +1/+1 and has trample. Or a 5/5 with trample. But I guess it adds an enchantment to it, so an enchantment gets added to it. So make it an enchantment creature. But I guess that's not in this set. You could sacrifice an aura attached to it and it fights target creature you don't control. If that creature would die, exile it instead. Alright, I suppose that makes up for it. I just didn't read ahead. Alright, how many times am I going to say alright? Well, we got one more common pack, let's see. Season of Growth, and Ash again, and Agatha's Champion. Nice, nice. Territorial Witch Stalker. It's a tutorial stalker. The Apprentice's Folly. And that's a pretty good card. I saw it before. It makes reflection counters. Pretty cool. I didn't get it during the draft because, well, I saw a card that was slightly better for what I was going for, even though it would have been pretty good to copy the legendary creature I mentioned earlier, because it would have made my artifact, or my adventure spells cost less. Next we're gonna do mythic packs. Alright. I think they have a guaranteed mythic. I'm not sure. Alright, so yeah, we got Stone Splitter, Picklock, Prankster. I thought that said Pricklock first, but whatever. You know, we aren't moving on from that. You can't cage mischief. Well, the Pricklock Prankster has something else to say about that. He'll lock your prick rate up, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, what's this mythic? Oh, mythic wildcard. Alright. Another one. What's this one gonna be? Oh, double mythic action. Alright, let's grab this. The Virtue of Strength. It also is the Garen Break Growth. It returns a target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand as an adventure. And it's an enchantment. If you tap a basic land for mana, it produces 3 times that mana instead. That is, well, that's green in a nutshell. Is that Stonehenge in the middle of a hedge mage? A hedge maze? A Stonehenge maze? Nice. What's this? A Smothering Tide. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If it doesn't, then create a treasure token. Nice. It's the gal that weaves straw into gold, if I remember correctly. That's a story. I don't think that was Rumpelstiltskin, but I can't be sure. Whatever. Dismiss card. And one last mythic pack before we go on to gold packs. Alright, what's it gonna be? Beseech the Mirror. It's got Bargain, and search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If the card was bargained, or if the spell is bargained, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If that card's mana value is 4 or less, put the exiled card in your hand if it wasn't cast that way. So it's a tutor of sorts. Alright, and it allows you to put it into the battlefield if it's got a low mana cost. Alright, gold pack. Oh boy, you guys ready? Here's 5 rares and a mythic. Spiteful Hex Mage. When it enters battlefield, put a curse roll token on something. Rankle's Prank. Alright. is Rankle Rumpelstiltskin. I thought Rumpelstiltskin was that Planeswalker guy, the trickster guy, in the last set of Eldraine. This has one or more. Each player discards 2 cards. Each player loses 4 life. Or each player sacrifices 2 creatures. And you can do all of them. Nice. Siege Veteran. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever a non-token soldier dies, create a 1/1 soldier artifact creature token. Nice. Evolve Sleeper. He's pretty standard. Everybody knows him. He grows in power. And yeah. One more. Rare. Sentinel of Lost Lore again. And what's our mythic? Our mythic is a Blade Coil Serpent. When it enters the battlefield, for each 2 blues spent to cast it, draw a card. When it enters the battlefield, for each 2 black spent to cast it, each opponent discards a card. And with for each 2 red, it gets +1/+0 and trample and haste until the end of turn. Alright, this is in Bolus colors. That's pretty nice. So if you're playing a Bolus deck, that's pretty cool. Alright. And our last pack of the night, let's hope for all mythics. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but let's go. We got 1 mythic. Got 2 mythics. That's pretty good. 2 mythics. Alright. And we got 4 rares. Let's start with the rares. Alright. Werefox Bodyguard. Elf Fox Knight. I really want to make a fox deck because I like foxes. If that wasn't apparent. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-fox creature until Werefox Bodyguard leaves the battlefield. Sacrifice it, and you gain 2 life. Moving on. The Kenrith's Royal Funeral, which I believe the Kenriths are from Eldraine? Question mark. All right, whatever. I have this card already. It's good for legendary decks. The Huntsman's Redemption, and this creates beast tokens, sacrifice a creature, and search your library for a creature card, basic land card, reveal it, and shuffle your library, and up to 2 creatures get +2/+2 and trample until the end of turn. Alright. Redcap Gutter Dweller, he's eating a cheese, and he's got a bunch of rats around him. Nice. Alright, what are our last 2 mythics of the night? Let's see. We got Elish Norn. Nice. I already had her, but she's pretty good. Doubles your activated abilities for enter the battlefield effects, and shuts down enter the battlefield effects for your opponents. And a Surge Engine, another mythic I had. This one likes to evolve. He grows in power the more you pay into him. Loads of people play with this card. This card is viewed as one of the better ones. I think that's that. I have no packs to open. It's a shame. But I guess that's enough for now. I've been at this for about an hour. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching me open a bunch of packs. It's a little bit of a jump from what I normally do, but that's fine. It's pretty cool. I had fun. I hope you did. And now I could build more decks. I have 5 mythic cards, 14 rare cards, 40 uncommons, and 38 commons. Don't ask me why I have more uncommons than commons. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I found out through the analytics that 99% of you are not subscribed. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.